the piano that just sat in the living room. It was out of key and everything, but of course I would bank on it. He had no idea how much I loved the piano, but he eventually sold it to somebody in the family. And I remember getting home from Grove Park Elementary, coming home from elementary school looking for it. It was like, oh, that thing gone. It's like, what? And so knowing that that was gone, like the next time that I get back to it, to take it seriously. And so seemingly, of course, there could be 100 other type of Hollywood stories about how you musically find a passion and everything. But that was the first instance of me knowing that I loved a particular thing. Yeah.
And you took that, and that's from a creative standpoint, you put your all into it from that one experience.
Yes, that, and of course, it's work. Knowing that, it's yours if you pay for it, if you work for it, like, then that way nobody can take it away. Like, it's yours. My kids had a little fight at the house yesterday over the PlayStation. Somebody took the PlayStation, then somebody cut the TV off because one of the boys got mad at the other.
I know.
They hit me while I was
from my children.
eating my sushi, and I was like, I'm sorry, who TV?
Boy, for real.
It's like, yours. Right. I thought that was the answer. Whose PlayStation?
Yours.
Don't touch my shit.
So how long was it before you got back into music after you realized the piano was gone, and then you said that's when you realized your love for it? So
no, I wasn't even. That was literally the start of it. It wasn't a idea of being in music for real or anything. I think we were in the band at Grove Park Elementary School, but it wasn't as serious as I thought it was until this particular item got removed from my life. Period. It was like, you're never gonna see this again. It's like walking outside, if you love cars and your car's gone.
Right.
And you have no way to pay for it. At that point, I'm a kid. I'm 7 years old. I can't just go pick up a piano.
Right.
So.
Can you put into words? And most people in here, I know I've lost a loved one, and you lost your mother and your grandfather. But I've heard you from being around you on a personal level speak very highly of your grandfather. Can you put in words what he's meant? I mean, you told me stories about, and this man, I never met the man, but he sounded like,
you know him?
I feel like it from the times we've been around and you talked about him, the impact he's had on your life.
Yeah, he's a fabric of everything that I am, everything that's wrong with me, everything that's right, everything in my work ethic, how I love, my faith in myself, my belief in myself, like he's like all of those things and always will be. And it's some lessons are things you learn later on in life. It's like, why are you telling a 10-year-old this, and then you're 25 and you're like, I never understood why he called friends associates.
Boy.
That was his main thing. It's like, yo, this is my friends. I was like, boy, them associates. It's like, sorry, say again. Those are associates. It's like, you'll see. Your car break down, nobody come over here and pick you up. Then your car break down, and nobody come pick you up. It's like I said, associates. Yeah.
From a musical mentor standpoint, I know you've been blessed to be around a whole lot of like really legendary creative people. But from your start, who is your music mentor, who you look back and say that person really, from a music standpoint and personal standpoint, really helped guide me to who I am now?
Wow, I have a lot of those early on. I think my first music mentor was probably my best friend Chris, who's sitting
right
over here.
What's up, Chris?
Chris up in here. He's my best friend since I was like 3 years old. Like, we've known each other since I was 3. And he was just into music anyway. He was in a band. It was the reason
Chris,
why I
never knew you was into music, man.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know that, man. Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Chris
played
trumpet.
I just thought he played kickball.
That's better than softball.
He was real good at kickball, actually.
Was he?
Yeah, he was real good. Kick the shit out of that ball.
You was on the you was on the cheerleading team, right?
I was on the cheerleading team.
Okay, I thought so.
I was trying to stay over there with the
right,
women. So,
all right, we go. I know that.
But no, so that was one of my first, Mr. Styles, who was our band teacher at Grove Park Elementary School. And of course my mother and grandfather were, just their choice in music. But I think when your parents are playing music back, or they're playing you what they love about music and what's ringing out throughout the house, you just think it's how the house is. You don't understand that there's not another house across the city that doesn't play music.
Yeah.
Like you're just waking up to Sam Cooke and Al Green and Otis, and you just think that's how it is. You don't think Saturday cleanup day is not happening for everybody.
All the time, yeah.
You know, so that was something going on with me probably prior to any of this.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, you know, he said, yeah, you've worked with a lot of creative people, and you've worked with a lot of artists. I mean, from Rihanna to Mariah to Beyonce. So it's like, who haven't you worked with that you can possibly see yourself working with, or that you would love to work with?
Wow. I think it's already kind of flipped over to the part of whoever wants to work with me, then I would, you know, definitely want to work with them, you know, because I've kind of crossed that space.
Yeah.
Of the people who I would like to get in the room with to work with. Like, I've worked with all of them.
Right.
Just about. There's not
Who's the biggest diva?
Me.
Of course, you play softball. I mean, of course you're a diva.
Of course. Slow pitch too. Had that. You know what I'm saying?
So when you say diva, Jamie, what do you? What's the?
Well,
word?
I was more so pertaining to, you know, Rihanna, Beyonce, Mariah. Like, who's the biggest diva? But he said me, so I mean,
I am.
that shut me up.
I definitely don't. This is my dog.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, what you doing? Or what y'all got to drink? Yeah, let me get that Louis 13.
Yeah, you
like,
see, he got.
Come on, dog.
Hey, and he told me to bring some. And you see, he got it in his hand. I said, for those who don't know, I mean, y'all know, Louis is not cheap.
At all.
But you don't supposed to drink it like it's cheap either, though.
No, you
I
don't.
see how you hold it. Go ahead, let's show it.
But you see, when you order it, they bring it like on a whole tray and
Bring it on a whole
everything.
tray.
Yeah,
It's a
I mean,
thing to
it's a whole experience.
See, we gonna be friends.
Hey.
I knew it. I knew it was in there.
And I noticed whenever we go out, he like, man, go ahead and get some of that Louis, man. I'm like,
I do, right?
All the time. No, get some of that Louis. I'm like, all right, man, damn, bro, it's Louis. I'm gonna drink
Hey
some.
man, that's how you know whether you're there with somebody that means what they
True.
mean.
That's
When they
true.
shy away from, like, nah, I don't need that. It's like, okay, it's time for you to go.
So how's your relationship with Tricky?
Great. My relationship with Trick is the same relationship anybody has with their brother. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, what you doing? I cannot talk to him for 3-4 months, and it's like, hey, I'm doing the same shit I was doing 3-4 months ago.
Yeah.
And that's what our relationship is. We recently talked about actually the Popeyes thing that you're talking about. It's like, oh yes, you got some of those Popeyes. Let me do one with you real quick.
What about some of them tracks? Y'all gonna put anything
So
else out?
let me cut. For those who don't know, the Dream and Tricky are like are not like, but they are Jimmy Jam and Lewis, Gamble and Huff.
Correct.
They together from a writing and production standpoint, they were the ultimate team.
Now you saying word like we did.
No,
That's what I said. That's why I said let me get some more of them tracks.
If you can let me fucking finish, let me.
They-
So
they
the
were
word
like-
the
Always
word
trying
was
to make me as old
that,
as
that
him,
they
I
didn't
swear.
that they split up and they hadn't been working together, which is true. Y'all really haven't been working together, but creatively, y'all dudes together, man. Y'all some
Man,
motherfuckers,
listen.
man. So is there any chance that you and
That's what
Trick
I'm
go get
saying.
back in and say, you know what, man, let's go, man.
I see what you're doing, Jerry.
I ain't doing
I
shit,
see
bro.
what you're doing.
I'm not doing
see
shit,
what you're
dog.
doing.
What am I doing?
First of all, we ain't split nothing up.
No,
That's number one.
y'all haven't. When's the last time y'all worked together?
I just work all the time, man. I wear people out. If Trick was here, he'd be saying right now, like, man, Dream wants to work all night long, all day long.
Young Dreamer,
on
y'all
every
go.
coast.
Young Dream,
Yo,
y'all go get back together and work again or not?
what you
What's
mean?
that?
We just actually did something like a
Okay. Oh,
couple,
shit, okay.
couple weeks ago.
That's my bad.
Oh.
Okay.
They all just
But
split up
but
and
them together, those guys together in Dream, they've done some incredible music.
Thank you, Jerry. We
no,
appreciate it, man. Black positive power, man.
I mean, it's
look,
the
you got
truth.
lights
It's
going
the
off in here,
truth.
Dream. Look at you. You got lights cutting off. So speaking,
Don't test me.
speaking, because I know what you
I
said.
turn-
You was
I
bringing.
turn- I turn this whole
Hey,
motherfucker
I know.
off.
Hey, I know what you said. What you was gonna bring is we're
Man.
gonna keep that. I said, damn, dog, you gonna bring that bitch? Shit.
I was just asking, well, you know, if you got your shit.
So
under control.
when you're mentioned with like when people mention the greatest, you see we live, we got folks cutting off lights and shit.
It's all good, man. Keep it,
I
just
know.
keep it going.
When
Like we in the hood.
that's exactly where we are. When when anyone mentions, and I mean anyone mentions the greatest songwriters of all time, Smokey Robinson, Ashford and Simpson, Gamble and Hubbs, Holland Dozier Holland, your name comes up, man. Your name. That's got to be an incredible fucking feeling to know that with the greats that you are right there as far as when they mention the greatest songwriters of all time, man. How does that feel, bro? I know it's got to be
Feels
amazing.
old.
You keep mentioning this old
Because I
thing.
ain't trying to go there.
You
You
I
are
ain't
stay
not
young.
old.
I ain't trying to go there. I just try to, like greatness is greatness and considered great after it's done, and I'm
And you're
not
still
done.
writing your book.
I'm not done. So I don't even want the comparison. I don't believe I deserve it yet. You know, so it's like, no, let them be them and let me congratulate and say that they're the greatest. You know, Smokey Robinson, somebody, of course, I grew up like idolizing. Lionel Richie, Diane Warren, like, so these people I love, you know, in this facet of music. So for me, in a certain space, to even be in a line with them, like, it's just spooky. Like, I'm like, nah, let me be Tom Brady.
But
Except for when they play the Falcons. We ain't gonna even get this.
Yeah,
going.
that's-
just roll
yeah.
through. Bad joke.
So what? So what inspired you to like write like love songs? I mean, you're all about love. Your titles of your albums. I mean, you have a love earring in. So obviously, you're a love promoter.
I am. Because
Right.
love tells the truth.
It
It's
sure
like
damn does.
it's like love is when we talk high school love is it's this thing of this imaginary Disney place that you go to.
It's more of an infatuation when we're younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I'm like as much as I love it, I love to tell the truth about it, the hurt of it, the glamour of it, the greatness of it, how hard it can be. You know, somebody's love for something, even like religion. You know, somebody else's love for religion is your hate for them.
Right.
You know, so it's all of those things that love encompass. We're just taught usually one side, and we grow and we get older and we start to learn the other side of the waterfall of what love is. And until you can actually know both sides, it's the only way you can respect it. So in my life, it's like a battery isn't powered without a negative and a positive charge. So, and that's what love is.
Dope.
A lot of records that you've written and that you've done as an artist is a lot about women's empowerment.
Absolutely. Say it again, Jerry.
Women's empowerment.
No, say it again. Say it.
A lot of that, and it goes back to your childhood, is that's from your strong relationship with your
My
mom.
mom, yes. Yeah, I think about that all the time, a lot. It's nothing that would probably bother me the most in the world. Like as far as like, if you don't know me, you just don't know me. Like that's cool. It just doesn't matter. But when it comes to women, like just period, and my absolute idea of how great the woman is. That's the only thing that can have me in a place where it's like, what you say? I don't like what? And so that's my, that's my arrow, so to speak. If you was trying to cut me, that would be the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, the love of- your
don't
love of
say I don't
women?
have don't say that I don't have a respect and an idea or a push for that.
Right.
Yeah, that would.
Well, I mean, I think
that'd
that's
be the best
that's
cut.
clear. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I
No,
hate to
not
bring it up,
really.
but you have been married 3 times, so
I hate
your
to
love
bring
for
it up.
women is very strong.
I hate to bring it up.
I hate to bring it up,
But you have been
dog.
married a few times.
But you have.
That sounds like she want to jump into a question. I don't know when she laid into that shit.
I don't know what you got on. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I mean, I mean,
Right.
I don't know what you're saying. It's like she's number 4, maybe.
Boy, but
Go ahead.
but no, you have been married 3 times, so I mean,
Right.
what's that like? I mean,
he said,
that's,
yeah.
no, but
He said, yeah, okay. You said it like, yeah.
no, because a lot of men are scared of marriage. They're scared of
man,
love. They're
no.
scared of
That has
so.
nothing to do with anything. That's your scared to fail anyway. Like it's not it has nothing to do with how many times, the least amount of times. Like that's just how a person is in a personality in life, and they're probably scared to jump into anything, But that's the closest place that you're going to get to it. You're not going to get any closer to even life or living or breathing, for that instance, than to put yourself in a place where somehow you're going to fall. I literally have a skateboard in my trunk. I probably have no business having that skateboard in my trunk.
You know how to
There's
skateboard?
90 people. See, that's the point. There's 90 people that's going to tell me, man, you better get off that skateboard. You're going to fall. I've been told that my whole life.
I would like to
Get
see
off
that
life.
after the show. Maybe we can
Get
pull
off
the skateboard
life.
out the trunk.
Hey.
You're
you
going to
know?
fall. Get off life. Don't ride life. You're going to fall, man.
And that's how life is.
Yeah, you're going
Like
to fall
that
anyway.
skateboard. Damn right.
But if you never get on the skateboard, you never got the thrills. You never got nothing. You're not
so what
even
you're
alive.
saying, you're going to keep getting married and you're going to keep loving.
I'm saying that
For the thrill of it.
Yeah.
for the thrill of it. Like, I'm doing pretty good right now.
You got an incredible
You
wife
know?
now. Just had congratulations on how does little princess is how old now?
6 months.
Yeah, congratulations. That's brand new.
So
Congrats
that's
on that.
four.
Appreciate
That's four or five. Four kids.
Oh, man, I thought you did your research. That's
Oh, I
99.
might have skipped that one.
99.
I saw the marriage and I was like, oh, no.
Yes, it's a lot. I call it 21 Savage.
At one point, boy, for real. At one point, were you were thinking about doing a collab
got
album with Kanye?
He didn't get it, but
Yeah, I didn't get it. It
It's
went
a-
completely.
the song a lot,
No, I know. Yeah, I know that.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
might look halfway slow, but but at one point you were thinking about doing a collab album with Kanye. Would you still do it, James?
What you mean?
Would you do a collab
Man,
album
that's
with
my
Kanye?
brother, man.
Would you do a collab album with Kanye?
Of course. Why would not?
No, I'm just
Matter
asking.
of fact, it's not even considered probably a collab at this point. I probably got on wax
A bunch of records.
with that guy, 100 records easy. On
Wow.
wax with B,
Wow.
200 records easy. On wax with Reed.
Hold on, you
70.
and him? You and Kanye?
Yeah, easy.
Somebody
Easy.
said yes.
Yes, it's easy.
And you
It's
and
not
Rihanna got how many together?
like 70 at least.
Damn.
It's not a hard thing to see. That's why Tricky said, "Nah, I'm good, man. I'm sleeping."
Wait, hold on. Why you say?
Tricky, like I'm gonna spend some of this money real quick. You
Yeah.
tripping?
So you sitting on 70? How many records were you and Beyonce got in the lab?
Probably like 200.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
And I know it's some hits over there, Dream.
yeah. She gonna call me in a second. Like the beehive is killing me, Dree. Why did you say it?
He over
Like,
there
I
sitting
just
on
had
200.
to.
Yeah.
Right. Once
That's
I
what
got
the
over
beat-
40, I just started saying shit, and it's like, "Hey, B, man."
You
got
gotta.
to interview the boy.
So,
Yeah,
so
you know, I gotta-
are you a perfectionist in the studio? Is that what I mean? You said you're in there all night, so that's why Tricky's like.
It doesn't,
but
no, it doesn't mean that it takes me all night to do it. I just have an idea of what I'm trying to get to, and I get it done. And I'm trying to I don't like wasting time or taking the time off. If I'm in it, I want to be in it. I don't want to come out
Got it.
on a stay.
So once you're in it, you're locked in. You want to finish it.
Period.
Knock
I'm
it
whoever
out.
that person is. If
Right.
we're making 4 for Beyonce, I'm Beyonce on the 4 album in the studio at home in the Hamptons, LA, wherever it is that I need to be, I'm B at that particular time.
Makes sense.
Y'all here. Storytime with Legendary Jerry with the Dream. You and Pusha T, y'all. It seemed like y'all chemistry on records, man. Y'all got great
My
chemistry.
God,
man.
we got a whole album too.
Hey, that was my next question.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
It seems as though because y'all together, man. Y'all motherfuckers is dope.
Absolutely.
Yo, so is this a project we definitely? I mean, I know you got records with a lot of people in the can.
I'm starting to think,
you and
man,
Pusha, man, y'all-
these are those things where estate sales happen. When you're no longer here anymore, and your children are so happy that you aren't.
Because they're eating up
going,
your-
they're going through your files like,
Oh my God, we're about to make a
Oh, we
killer.
putting out all these Jay-Z records right now tonight. They can't wait. They're just sitting there like, yeah.
Yeah, Dad.
I used to want your Ferrari, but you
Nah,
keep it.
Yeah, it's cool. We go-
We're gonna bury you good.
So what you're saying with that is you're not putting the records out.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just looking at the other part of when something that just came out last month. Are you familiar with Coltrane? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Coltrane they just put out some stuff from him that was back in the '60s.
Coltrane, yeah.
That got recorded. That was just there. They remastered it. put it out.
Yeah.
And so I keep seeing more and more of those things, and now not my idea, because I want it to be that way, but I think that's what happens, when you work like that and work for that long. If an album is one, if I'm working with B one way on an album, and we change direction of, no, let's make it about this. Let's leave that album over there. It doesn't mean that album isn't going to come out. Whether I'm going to be alive to see it, I can't predict that.
Well, that's the one thing about music. I mean, it's your legacy. So they say, if you want to be remembered forever, to either make music or a movie.
Right.
So with that being said, what would you say is maybe your top 3 tracks that you've put out that were your favorite to make, be in the studio?
Wow. I don't have my top 3. Fancy is one of my top 3.
That sound like that. Hey, that sound like that's a lot of people's favorite track.
That's a lot of people's. Nikki.
So that was one. Nikki's a hard.
Nikki?
I got a new project, a Nikki project that I just did. Just finalizing who I want to run it through, because when you're the fortunate and unfortunate thing about being independent is you kind of get to do it when you want to.
Yeah, but
Right.
But also from a writer and a musician standpoint, you always want come out tonight. It's like I did that with 1977. And the label was like, "Oh, we don't know what this is."
And
blah,
me and
blah,
you, we
blah.
talked about that a
And
lot
I
of
was like,
times.
"Yo,
The
this
label,
is the turn.
they don't
This
know
is
what
the
to
turn."
do.
They always telling you something about some shit that they don't know about.
Yeah, y'all. A lot of
you
times the
sitting there,
labels, they have no clue.
And you
They have
put
no
your-
clue.
Put your shit out, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, now it's 9 other people with the same shit you was doing on that thing. We should have took it seriously."
Right.
And so now that I know that happens, I couldn't take full advantage of 1977. So I'm always tiptoeing into things, and people are like thinking that it's probably me, but it's so that it's not that I need to warrant every penny off of an album, but I'm not putting shit out for free. Like I can't just.
Damn
It's
right.
people around me that need to be paid. Like it's not. I'm not just sitting there like, yo, let me get all the money. Like there's engineers and there's assistants and they got families and children and that need to be fed. It's not about, oh, just put it out and just let it go. And it's like, nah, dog. I need this to come out in some kind of right way, And so for me, the Nikki project, of course, is finished. There's a whole other thing that I can't mention that's finished. Sex Tape 4 is done.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that.
Okay.
There are so many records and ideas and projects and film ideas that are there.
So it's safe to say you're not going anywhere.
No time soon.
No time
Oh
soon.
no! Quincy Jones did Thriller at 50, so
Sure did.
I'm above the curve at this point. That's why I don't want to get old.
Well, you talk like you're that way. I mean, playing softball and stuff,
They just had me out there. That's
That was
because I like
15
it.
years.
I
Hey,
like
Dream,
it with old
that was
heads,
15 years ago.
You know I'm gonna hold that to you. Yeah.
we was a lot younger then.
No, I was a lot younger.
No, I was. Don't try to play. We in the same
You in the
age.
same age
We're in
you
the
are
same.
now.
Hey, my knee was.
53.
My knee was.
Your knee was?
My
Your
knee was.
still-
Shit. You remember?
I seen that knee still. I'm
But
still
I
running
was
whole court.
Hey, but I was a little heftier then too, though. A little bit. About 150 pounds.
You on your way back up.
Damn, y'all.
Are,
So look, go ahead.
Are any of your
You
children?
looking good, though.
Thank you, bro.
You
You
looking
too.
good.
You too.
Looking
Lily.
real good.
Are any of your children into music?
Yeah, I actually like their choice of things that they listen to. They don't say, "Hey man, I want to do this," and I'm like, "Yes, thank God. Please do something else with your brain, bro."
Yeah, that's right.
Like unless I see that, I'm not the second place parent. I'm not the person that thinks everybody should get a trophy.
Participation
That
trophy.
shit, I don't do
Yeah,
that.
fuck
Like
that.
either you're great at something or not. I'm
you're
trying to
not.
steer you to whatever your contribution to society is. You're not here just to loathe around and chill
Right.
out and like, well, I do music because my dad does music and because like, no, nigga, no. Like, that's not happening. So
That come from
You
your
wanna- you
granddaddy.
wanna
Your
do it
granddaddy
because
won't play
it's
the
their
radio.
passion and
That
they
come
love
from your
it.
granddaddy.
no, it's not because it's their passion. You can have a passion in some shit you're just not good at, and you should know the difference.
Well, if it's
Like,
your passion, you should be good at it.
no,
not really.
no,
I mean,
Not
no,
really. No, not really.
no. I have a passion at golf.
do you? But I bet you if you keep practicing, you'll be good at it.
I won't be that much better at it. I can guarantee.
That's not true.
You're
I
not
don't believe
necessarily
in
good.
that.
You're not necessarily good at your passion.
I don't believe that.
Right.
Not at all.
I just.
I think if you
exposed
keep
something.
doing it
Exactly.
at
If
day
You keep
after
doing
day
it,
and you keep
that's-
practicing.
See, no, no,
And you
not
think
at
you'll
my
get
house.
good at it?
If his passion is golf and he goes to the golf course
Jamie,
and
he
takes
can go shoot 18 every day, and he's not gonna ever get on the
It's
tour.
not gonna happen.
He's not getting on the tour.
It's not gonna happen. I'm pretty good too.
He's not getting on the tour.
I'm good in my little league and my friends. I'm on. The,
You have a
I'm
golf
on the-
league?
I'm on
Wait,
the-
wait,
I'm on
wait,
the I'm on the amateur golf tour. And
You have a
everything,
golf
but no.
league?
Huh?
You have
No,
a golf
just
league?
a circle.
Okay, I'm
people
like-
that we know in it.
It's
Yeah.
people that.
Right, so that means you're good at it then.
Yeah, I am
With
good
the
at
crew.
it. With the crew.
Oh, okay. I
But
see
he
what you're
can't
saying,
go out
but
and get on
You
tour.
can't play with
Yeah, I
Tiger
can't
Woods.
make that type of money. Are you? No. And
I
if
think
I'm
if
not
you
making
kept
that
doing
type
it.
of money, don't do it. This is just pretty simple.
So I'm gonna name an artist.
You passionate about your bread.
Damn right. I'm gonna name an artist, and I want you to tell us what you took from a session with them and what you learned from them.
Oh shit!
And I think I'm gonna let you sip on that Louis, and you know who I'm gonna start off with,
I don't know who you gonna start off with.
Beyonce.
Oh,
One thing you learned from her that you took from the first time, or just period when you go in a session with her.
faith. Yeah. It's just faith in what she sees. No doubt about it. I know that's a word that somehow people use a lot and it just seems like it's lost, but I mean it with every intent. Like just faith in what she's doing at that moment. Locked in on it.
Rihanna.
Oh, wow. Nigga.
Like that.
That's my nigga right
Like
there.
that.
That's my nigga right there, boy. I swear, boy.
But I'm mad that
been
he
my
said
nigga
that,
for
and
a
I
minute.
felt like I felt that.
You felt
like
it,
I feel
right?
like I
Yeah, the
look
way
at her
you
and like
felt.
I
Oh,
felt
that's my
that.
nigga.
And you can
right
feel
there.
it, and you can hear it in the music.
Right,
Oh,
right,
that's-
right. Like that's my
nigga.
yeah,
Like that.
What?
Like Joan, joke around, all that shit.
What? Nigga, what?
yeah.
But what's one thing that, like, when y'all talk, like, you know, how we do on the series, you know, that you take from her just as, or not on a personal-
Loyalty. Loyalty. It's never wavered. It's never been nothing. It isn't. We don't see each other differently. There's no amount of money that makes me see her not the Rihanna that I knew when I first came in. And there's nothing that I do or have done that she says, oh, that guy's different from who I thought. It's like, no, it's the same can. Same can of goods.
Jay-Z.
Relentless. It's a
I can
relentless
definitely-
individual.
I can see that.
And just he's about everything with Jay is like a lyric, right? It's like I'm trying to do something you don't understand yet. That's the biggest thing to Jay-Z. I'm trying to do something you today find like that's weird. And
that's
cut
why-
two
but that's why
years,
the
it's like,
greatness-
oh,
That's what,
that's what you was doing. Got it. Yeah.
last one. The Dream.
What I take from him?
Yeah.
Oh, that nigga so bad. So bad. I would say probably dainty.
Huh?
Yeah, I know that word was gonna hit you in the side of your neck.
Yeah. That, you got to explain that one, brother.
I just like beautiful things. I like the day to be beautiful. I like
Women to be beautiful.
brunch. I like tea time. I like
Tea and crumpets.
I like the yes, actually, yeah. I like the ballet. I like,
Yes.
hey man,
The opera, come on.
Ballet season. Let's jump on a private, go ballet, and then come back. You know.
When does this next wife expire? When's this
See, I told you. I told you earlier in the thing. She looking down at her finger like.
looking at that. No, look, she was like,
Now she was trying to take her little thing off. Take
I'm only playing.
We know you just playing.
what's she is, but she ain't. The 2019 dream. What would the 2020 dream, 2019, 2020 dream say to the 2003 dream? Like, what advice would you say? Look, man, hey, dog.
Nothing.
No, you gonna say something.
I wouldn't tell him nothing. I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
There's some advice you would tell him, no? You feel like
Nope.
every speed bump,
man,
every
you gotta,
pothole.
every piece of that makes you exactly who you are. Like you're changing something that makes you. It's like, hey man, steer clear of this wife. Like, it's like, no, don't do that. Like,
'Cause she taught
risk
you
that
something.
thing, do that thing, love that thing, love that time that you're in, that moment that you're in, and take that
Be
to the
present.
next place and become bigger. Because you don't learn anything from being in first place. You only learn from failure.
You
Right.
damn right.
Amen.
So if you don't put yourself in a place where, and you're not trying to fail on purpose, you're trying to get it not even right. You're just trying to get it the best for your own life. You know, like, so these places and these things turn into thoughts of mine, or ideas about living, or about marriage, or about what you change about a certain thing. But you can't get there if you didn't go through the first shit.
Right.
You know,
Right.
to even tell the next person or the person that you're dating now, like, hey, we gotta do this different. Let me tell you why. I know something about myself that either you gonna like this or you're not. And they get a chance to say, I actually love that. Or, yeah, you're right, I hate it, I'm out.
Well, okay, so not necessarily yourself, but what would you tell, somebody up and coming R&B producer, writer? What kind of piece of advice would you give them
I think
in this day and age, thinking about the
I think
R&B now?
I think the best, I try to steer, me and Tip came by the house, and we were talking about just the younger, generation, which I hate that word, younger and older, as you can tell. I think we're just one unilateral, thing. We're just all connected. And so we were having a discussion about how you say something to somebody. And I'm more so on the idea of stop preaching to people that don't want to be preached to,
You damn right.
and just say you understand,
Yep.
because we've all been there. More of the understanding part of it would get me more ahead and get them more ahead in their life versus me telling them, hey, you shouldn't do this. Like, well, the natural next question is why, and who the fuck you think you are? Like, that's what it's going to be, because that's what it was when we were
Yep, sure was.
younger. I mean, I was much younger than you, but
Here we go with this shit. Here we go. We're in the same age bracket.
so
Same.
if you don't approach it that way versus saying, I have empathy for what's going on. Yeah. Rig system, yes, this is that's me and Jerry talk about this a lot. And I'm like, yeah, the system's rigged, so what? Like, but the best way to get over it is first for us to stop preaching down to the next person.
Right.
Like, cut that shit out. Like,
Right.
I don't know what that is. Like, stop it. It doesn't help anything. It's not most people say it's a religious value, or it
Yeah.
comes from Christianity. It comes from no,
It don't.
that's not what it is. It just comes from this place where we're all trying to be better than we were yesterday, and we don't know where to focus that attention and power to. So we just look to the person that's usually not on our level to say, hey man, you're not shit,
Right.
in a certain type of way, to be blunt about it. So instead of doing that, say, you good, man. You just, cool. You go to
Yeah.
you can go to jail for a couple weekends. You're gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. It's not over. You probably don't want to kill nobody. Like,
Yeah.
it's probably going too far.
Yep.
Don't rape anybody. It's not cool. Shit's not cool.
Do you think-
Don't respect people's
Yeah,
faces?
exactly. Just basic
but
respect.
Basic shit that
Yeah.
you just gonna go through. Like, go through that shit. It's cool.
So do you think R&B is lost in this generation, like not what's out now? I know you hate the younger generation or whatever,
Yeah.
but
The state of R&B.
R&B,
Jen. What do you
R&B
think
is
about
so
the state of R&B
yeah,
right now?
Yeah, it's different now.
I just think music is music. I don't think it's no status between. Like, we create these titles for some apparent reason. I have no idea. Maybe they're just talking points, in a way. And I understand that, like, but the love for one another is what R&B was really built on. The love, which is truth, right? Which is what you're going through. It's hard to find a R&B that's in that place when everybody's ignoring the real hurt.
Right.
Or pain. It's easier to find that in the 60s because they were going through shit.
Civil
So-
rights movement, etc.
Yeah, so it was easier to find that in church hymns back in the day when slavery was a part of it. Like, all of these things that created this space of doubt and sadness and sorrow is what rhythm and blues was about in the first place.
Right.
So if you're not experiencing the blues, like, how could you actually recite it?
Right.
So
People forget about that being R&B. Stands for the
See,
blues.
there you
right.
go.
So, and me and Lil Wayne was having this conversation the other day, literally about this exact thing, and we had this song that we had sent back and forth, and he called me back and he's like, "Man, you sound like heaven on this thing, man. What's going on?" And it was just the feeling of this space, you know, of a thing is that thing that may be lost.
Dream.
It's
That's
not
why they
the
call.
music.
That's why they call it soul music, man.
Yeah.
When that music, when
Right.
you sing, you can feel it, man. When you listen to Marvin Gaye, to Sam Cooke, you know. And I'm not saying it's lost now, but I personally, I think it's a little disconnect.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Nobody understands how. It's not even understanding, because this is that gateway to preaching down or pushing down something, and where it's not about it being lost. It's about just understanding where we are. You know, so we're stuck in a place where we don't know whether we're celebrating something, a victory, or we should be sad for a loss. Like we're kind of in the
And a
middle.
lot of times, that
Well,
shit
like
merges.
I think
The
Jerry
words
hit
of
it on the
loss is
head.
confused.
Yeah.
I think you hit it on the head though. The B is lost. The blues is lost. Like I feel like what's lost now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but so
But
who
it-
are you rocking with right now? Is there anybody in particular?
Yeah,
that-
when you listening to the radio, new music, what artists pique your interest? You like, you know what, shit, if they reached out, I'll fuck with them. I do. Or
All of
what do
them.
you enjoy listening to now?
But I think all of them. I enjoy listening to Coltrane. That's who I am. You don't really.
I'm
want
talking about
me
new
listening
artists,
to,
nigga.
Yeah,
Right.
You don't really want me listening to.
Why not? You young, as you said, you young.
Right.
Yeah, no. There's certain people that I like. I love Summer Walker.
I was just about to say her
I've
name.
I've been on record saying this. Of course, Bria, who I have
Bria
signed to me.
Bria
And
Janae is
she's-
signed to Radio
she-
Killer. She's incredible.
She has that
She's got a
blues part
soulful,
too.
yeah, oh man,
Yeah,
incredible
she's out of
voice.
Houston, and it's one of those things where you're trying to recognize something in a soul, not age-wise or whatever it is. Because the other part that's actually confusing about rhythm and blues is all of those guys we grew up listening to were old as fuck. Like they knew what the fuck they was talking about. To be blunt about it. They were up in age. They had fucking chest hair and shit, like big ass mustaches and shit. Like
it depends now because as you mentioned, the Saturday morning cleanup.
They was peaking at 40.
The Saturday
They was
morning
like,
cleanup
They
with
were
Teddy
though.
Pendergrass
Yeah, I was
and
about
Earth,
to
Wind, and
say
Fire.
Teddy
Now, they were
Pendergrass.
older, but the R&B, the New Editions, and the guys,
No,
the guys
no,
was
no,
young.
that's not considered really R&B.
That-
We talking about. Come on, man.
Okay, well,
That's the more
our
shinier
generation in
approach,
the 80s.
which is completely great. Like it
El
has nothing to do.
DeBarge.
I'm talking about the reason why the young guys got it from those older cats that were doing it in the first place. Like that's
the
where
Teddy
it came
P's,
from.
the OJ's.
The oldest is like that's where it came from. But they were grown ass men.
They were.
They already went through their experiences, had their kids over here, over
Maybe
there,
grandkids.
it's like,
Everything.
maybe grandkids, and they could tell you some shit. So maybe R&B is just in the hands of the wrong people.
Because it seems like now R&B is it's merged with hip hop. You can't even damn tell. I mean,
Yeah, well, you know.
It is.
like
Yeah.
I was talking
But
to
that's his
somebody
own-
and
that's his
I
own
was
thing.
talking
That's
about
not a
R&B
merger. That
and they
is hip-hop.
said Drake is R&B and I said, what? They said Drake was R&B.
Yeah, I think Drake
And I said
knows,
no.
and we all know that Drake's not R&B.
Yeah, but
he's a smart enough student to know that.
yeah, I mean he didn't say it, but what I'm just saying it seems like that everything is just
But that's the confusion part. But we did that.
Lines are blurred.
Radio did that. You did
I
that.
know I was waiting on you to
You did that.
It's your fault, Jerry.
It is Jerry's. It's the
Me
Jerry's
and him
that
have
we go
had
back
these
and forth.
Me and him have had these
Go
conversations.
back and forth on it because what happens is there's an expiration on somebody for some apparent reason that somebody inserted in a place to say, oh well, the most knowledge occurs for me, I believe, for a man between the ages of like 30 and 50.
I agree. I definitely agree.
So it ain't shit
We don't
you
start
can tell
until
me
we
before
turn 30. We don't. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like what are we talking? We talking about rent or mortgage or some
Shit.
shit? Like what?
30 is
dude,
that
What
as
are
a
you
man,
talking about?
yeah. Right.
So if you're listening to the radio, ain't nobody really over 30 through 50. Like what are we
Yeah.
talking about? They ain't got shit to tell you. They're not talking about real shit. They ain't talking about the corny motherfuckers that get old and they just corny as fuck. Like, no, I'm not talking about them. I ain't gonna mention them by name, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, please don't. Oh, you can. Shit, I'm good. So, with you having daughters, how has that impacted the way you write? Um, how has that impacted the way you write? 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 How has that impacted the way Because you had some princes around the house.
What that mean?
Shit, come on, man. I got 2 daughters, and it changed my life.
Oh yeah, but tell me how it changed your life.
I'm not a creative. I'm talking about from a creative standpoint with what you put
Bingo!
out.
Oh.
I'm not a
So
creative.
I have a big wide ocean of where you have to respect daddy's area. Like don't.
So it has an impact you none having daughters.
No, it can't. It can't impact me. I'm on my voyage and they're on their voyage. Like I can't.
Like what Jay-Z said, he'll never use the word bitch again.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because he got a daughter.
That's great. Yeah, I'm a
Or
bitch.
have there been anything like that? You like too short, bitch. Bitch.
You're like, that doesn't affect me
You
at
say-
all.
No, it can't
He
affect.
said I'm bitching it all day.
Bitch.
Damn, too short.
Damn.
I can't affect my art. Like, are you crazy? Like,
Shit.
I'm connected to a piece of a thing. Like, it's not. My life isn't just for my children. Like, it's not just like people wake up every day and they're on this whole grind of, oh man, I do this for my kids. Like, no, we all do this for each other. And that's literally what it is when you start boxing off and saying, oh, I'm only doing this in this space. Yeah, that's that shit they taught us was why we over here fucked up in America right now.
Mentally,
Like
we, as men, you talk about all the time. Mentally,
yeah, because your mom,
Yeah.
and my mom
we
and
fucked up.
granddad could be in the room talking about some shit and say every fucking word they want to fucking
Boy.
say and repeat it if you want
Hey.
to and see what happens.
And fuck around and walking in, not knock
And
on
don't-
the door. Not knock on the door and watch what happens.
Right.
Shit. Or walking with some grown folks talking about
Yeah.
go get boy.
I'm just saying,
Push
and
to
don't
the
make
ground.
don't make a nigga leave their job to come to the school.
Oh boy, see now we getting on.
Yeah.
So look,
money.
look.
I'm taking this out your ass
See, me and
today.
him talk about this type shit all.
Maybe
So,
let's get some.
back, huh?
You want to get some questions from the audience?
Yeah, in a minute. I got one more question.
In a minute, he shut that shit down.
Right. He always shut
Hold
me
up in a
down.
minute.
And
He
it is
always
story
shut
time with
me
legendary
down.
Jerry. No, I'm just. It is story time with legendary Jerry.
Oh, you
True or
Always shut
false?
me down.
The biggest records you wrote them in 30 minutes or less, man.
yes.
Damn.
They have
Just-
to come out. There it is.
What it was just
Come out.
marinating? He said, "Let me get this shit."
No,
out."
don't even marinate. It's a
30 less than 30 minutes. The big umbrella less than 30 minutes, man.
absolute.
Were you high?
No, that's the crazy. Yeah, one take. See, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't about, and
Damn,
everybody knows
we got
this.
somebody on the audience interviewing
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
No, I got-
That's what I said. They might want to ask some
So
questions.
it's funny that you
Jamie
even
knows best.
brought up the high thing at all, like because everybody knows that I didn't drink or smoke before 30, and so my good friend Chris over here, he used to all literally as teenagers like, yo man, just hit this, just hit
Peer
it.
pressure's a motherfucker.
Chris,
Chris,
boy.
you're a bad influence.
Damn,
Just
Chris.
just hit it. And I was like, man, I'm good, man.
And
He's
now
like,
you
"Man,
don't
just
need
hit it."
nobody to tell you to hit that shit.
No, he literally, the idea was, this is literally what happened. He said, hey, I told him, I said, hey man, I ain't smoking weed till I get $1 million. And his reply was, what, Chris? I guess you ain't never smoking.
Damn. Chris, you ain't had
Full
no, and that's your best friend since you was 3?
He said you ain't never smoking.
Damn,
Like,
Chris.
He said,
Way to
you-
have confidence in
Chris
bro.
said you ain't never smoking. I was like,
Hey, he fucked up. Like, boy, you ain't nothing. Damn.
so
Way to have confidence
So I
in nigga.
remember coming back. I had this. I had just got this CLS '63 Benz, and I came back
The
to
white
the west side. No, black
Okay.
one. Came back to the west side. Pulled up at his mom's house,
Chris, that CLS.
and Chris is like, "The hell? What you doing?" I hopped out the car. I was like, "Man, roll that shit up."
Hey.
He was like,
Let's go. Let's go.
"I think that nigga got $1 million."
Hey.
That's what's up.
He said I never doubt my little brother again.
Yeah, no.
And I bet you haven't put the blunt down since.
Damn.
I
you see how,
don't, not even.
Damn, James. You
I'm
said she
joking.
put- Damn.
I'm
Said she
joking.
could put-
I don't use smoke blunts. I just use papers. I'm dainty. I told you.
Oh, that's right. You probably have like a little like
I got
little
all that shit.
tie with you put the pinky
Gold
up,
lighters
all
and
that.
shit.
Okay.
Oh yeah, all kind of shit.
Okay. When does she
Cute
expire?
shit.
Oh shit. Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Boy.
What's going on
Why-
over here?
Hey, boy.
Well, I'm practicing a new religion, so now.
Uh-oh. Polygamy. Uh-oh. Oh, polygamy
Keep
ass.
going, keep it
nigga.
going.
Yeah, I was
Keep it going.
do like rappers and R&B artists be do songwriters motherfucking beef. Do y'all be man, fuck that motherfucker, man?
You know they
Oh,
beef.
of course. Oh, yeah. Everybody. I want to be hated by everyone.
Come on, man.
I
You
used to, not now, but yeah. That was my thing.
Like
I
you-
had to
like-
I had to
like
feel
a
some type
motherfucker
of
like,
pressure.
Like Sean Gary. Y'all
Yeah,
like
me and Sean was in a whole.
y'all was beefing?
I mean, like not on record, but
Y'all weren't
You know.
fucking with each other.
no, that's too harsh.
Okay.
It was just like, oh, cool. If that person's over there, I'm trying to make sure that I put their house in foreclosure.
Damn. I don't want
Is
that
that
kind of
dainty?
beef.
I don't know if that's dainty. Yeah.
Someone said that's
You
dainty.
niggas say he dainty. I don't know if that's dainty, man.
I didn't say I wasn't gangster. I just said I'm dainty. But no,
I don't know if I
it
want
was more.
that kind of beef.
It was more of a mentality thing. Like it wasn't. Of course,
Yeah.
you don't wish that on. You don't want to wish that on anybody. It was a mentality space I had to put myself in. Like it's like as a boxer. Like, of course, if you get ready to box somebody, you don't even know. Like, you don't know nothing about them, and where you get your edge from is where you get your edge from. You know, and so those things in my mind, I could calculate and make them what I want to make them. And so there were certain cases where it was like, I'm trying to end them.
Yeah.
Period.
Now, is that part to go back to one of the things you used the word relentless when you talked about Jay-Z? Is that I know you already had that in you, but is that something that from that relentless standpoint?
Yeah, that's why me and him, like, that's a friend of mine, it's not an associate. But that's
Jay-Z
why
is a
we're
friend,
friends.
yeah.
You know, because of that.
That relentless.
And he knows, like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And trying to beat him at what he's doing.
I'm sure that's got to be interesting.
It is. It is. That's like the 60-year-old me that gets to really say whatever.
Because
I want.
let me say this, and I'm gonna get off into me and his personal relationship. Is one day me and him was talking about some artist type stuff, and he said something, and me and him go at it. Everybody, Joy, know we go at it. Me and Dream, he's my brother, and he said, Jerry, would you bring this to Jay like this? And at first I started like, man, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, but he was like, I want you to look at it like that. Look at me the same way, not on no ego, not on no arrogant shit. But he said, would you bring this to Jay-Z like this? And I remember calling you back. What was like the next day, a couple days later, I calmed down. You know, what's that mean? And I was like, yo, it's a respect thing. As much as me and him butt heads and we go at it, once I pulled myself back and thought about it, even though he's my friend, I had to realize that at the level, the level of respect from a music standpoint, I was like, yo, you was right, straight up. But I understood once I pulled back, because at first, I was like, man, fuck you, motherfucker. You know what? We might.
In my own defense, as you could probably say, I'm always uplifting to you in your own shit.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what it's
exactly.
always been. Like, no, like this is what your worth is. Like, do this. And that's when I think you was asking earlier about what do I tell younger. That's my conversation with everybody all the time.
Yeah.
This is you. This is your worth. This is your publishing. This is what it's worth. Like, don't just run out and just do whatever it is, or don't or hey, there was a hustle, Jerry.
Yeah.
And I said for so many years, I was like, there was that Jerry, like, cool, nigga, I get the record play, nigga, this ain't nothing to me.
And you told me,
I was
you
like,
said,
develop
you
your
made a whole lot
relationships,
of-
Jerry.
You said you made a whole lot of money, but now, and once again, we're going to stay in our personal relationship. When I first came home from doing my Fed bid, when I was gone for those 9 months, me and you went and sat down and had lunch, and you told me, you was like, hey, man, he was like, you made a whole lot of money, whatever, lost money, made a lot, but you got to reinvent yourself. And you was like, it's just certain shit that you can't do no more. That you,
Period.
Jerry, need to do.
Right.
It didn't have nothing to do with what I went to the feds for. It was
Right.
But it was just from a professional standpoint, just from friend to friend. And like I say, I joke around, and he know he could be an asshole, but at the same time, it's a friendship. Oh, the motherfucker is an
You gotta
asshole.
throw that in.
He's my dog. but
They
he's
swear
an
I'm an asshole. The truth just sounds like ass, I guess.
Yeah, no, and I ain't talking about that. no.
You tell a nigga true, that nigga asshole. I can't
no.
believe he wouldn't let me borrow $100,000. I can't stand that
just
nigga.
To stay in tune, what I personally, it's shit that, back to your question, Jamie, as far as what, I know at the end of the day, it's always gonna be some upliftment type shit. So, outside of him being creative like that, he is going, so.
I'm going to capitalize.
Yeah. 1970. Maybe that's the Virgo in you, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Because both of y'all
Oh, you're a
Virgos.
Virgo.
What?
Oh no.
Oh no! Oh, so that what I tried to tell you.
Yeah.
So you wasn't
Yeah,
ready for
you see, I
it.
had that. She didn't know.
She didn't know.
Yeah, I had.
She didn't know.
All this time, that's the Virgo, and you know y'all Virgos, y'all some interesting. Whoo, y'all some interesting
I love
characters,
it.
boy.
Great, good.
So before we get out of here, I'm gonna take 3 questions, because we got to wrap it up. 3 questions from the audience. Okay, I'm gonna take Gia back there first. I know you see I called her name out.
Yeah,
She like that shit, Gia.
Gia, you better make sure I get this question out.
Yeah, you see I called her. Go ahead, Gia.
Thank you for taking my question. So as a creator, have you ever been in a space where you felt uncomfortable because it was a new venture or because you maybe thought that other people wouldn't understand what you were doing? And if so, how did you get over that?
Wow. My mother's death created this person in me that don't give a fuck about whatever the fuck everybody else is thinking about. Like, it's just like, that's where that whole attitude came from. My creative space is mine. You know, the same things that you don't love about me is probably what you end up ultimately loving about me, you know, if you give it time. Which is what art is. You know, some days you don't understand art. And 10 years from now, you're buying a Basquiat for it. And it's like, what you buying a stupid ass art for? It's like, well, I like it, and it's worth half $1 million. Like, so that's what creativity should be. It's like this. It's a sanctuary of a place where I think it's above any person's judgment. That would be like me judging anybody's creativity about what they're doing. Like, that would be contradictive of what I feel, you know, on the inside. Like, oh, cool, that's your shit. That's your shit. You know, like, I can't, you have to feel that within yourself to know. Like, you can't tell me shit about mine. It's not an ego thing. And a person who wants to level up with you as far as creativity, or whether it's in your work life or whatever it is, or tell you that it's that, or tell you that you're being an asshole. Just so they can bring it down to a space where they can handle it or digest it for themselves. But I just believe that that's never been a problem for me to just say, I just don't give a fuck.
Let me get this young brother right here.
My question. How get in touch with your jeweler? And
Damn.
what do you think of Jesus is King?
I think Jesus the King is awesome. I think he definitely set out to do a thing. I wish you could put out that album that we had, right.
Why you can't
That's
put
the
it out?
capitalist in me. I'm sorry.
Why you can't put it out?
I won't do that.
All right, well, go ahead, finish the question then.
We got to take full advantage of it. Can't take advantage of your relationships, Jerry.
Yeah, I don't do that. And
Awesome album. And what was the first? My jeweler. It's just regular dainty people. Van Cleef.
let me get that young lady right there with her hand up. Then I'm gonna take 2 more.
Dang. Oh,
Yeah,
nigga.
2 more. Go ahead, young lady.
Hello.
Recently, I read that you sold
75.
75% of your catalog.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain exactly what that means?
Explain. It's kind
We was
of
gonna
not
talk about that, too.
self-explanatory either.
We was gonna talk about that. He just did it. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk
Damn
about your
it, dog.
I know.
It's not a question.
Because it was
Trying
on
to
my
hijack
look, it was
that
on my
question,
card to
dog.
ask, and I didn't ask. So I'm glad you asked.
75% of my publishing back catalog from 15 back. I sold to actually with a good friend of mine, Merck, who started this company, and it was kind of based on the idea that we had maybe 3 years prior to that, where music is a commodity, right? It's like oil, it's like orange juice, it's like this thing that's gonna repetitively make money regardless. Merck took that ad and kept going with it, which was great for me ultimately. Sold 75 to a company that I'm on the board of, so it's almost like I sold it to myself. But
Some Virgo shit. Now that I know you're Virgo.
There we go. And
I'd be a little confused when it comes to what people say and gossip and blogs and things like that. So I just wanted to have an understanding of you can choose what percentage that you want to sell. Or
Not everybody.
They came to you and said,
not everybody, because you're dealing with the idea of you can be in a situation where you're down bad, and you don't have that patience
Which a lot of
to
artists
say,
have done that, yeah.
well,
They
this is
sold
what
and
I'm
published for a
selling.
catalog.
They wanted 100. just wasn't happening. Like, so I was like, I'm gonna let
Yeah.
this 25 ride with you,
And
big
keep
dog.
in mind, like man, you
see what
talking
y'all
about,
doing over there.
That's not 100. So that other 25% plus the shit you write, like you.
Oh yeah, it's no futures.
There's
in
no
it.
futures.
Yeah.
So how
So
many records do you think that is? 75%. Like how many records is it? Like,
That's his.
no,
whole,
it's
that's
like
the
how
whole-
many
whole-
whatever in the catalog
Yeah,
at that
whatever in the
particular
catalog
time.
from-
So it's like 400 something songs.
okay.
Yeah.
But that ain't nothing for the future. So when he goes in and he's with Beyonce,
Clearly.
Rihanna,
Right, that's what okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
So I got one question. So when you made Fancy, I just want to know, like, 'cause that's one of my favorite songs too. So did you like not get a female? Like what MySpace was it? Because it just something you just didn't get that female that you wanted, and you made a track.
We never get that female we wanted.
Hey,
I think
I did.
that's the. You say what?
That,
Did she say you did that 4 times?
damn. Damn.
That's her number 4.
that song hard. So I'm just like, 'cause that's like what MySpace was you wanted?
Dreaming. Just dreaming of a place. I'm pretty good with the idea of the feeling of losing things. So that's why there's this bit of sparseness in that record. 1, 2, there is a glamour about it. At that time when I wrote that, I hadn't even been to Paris yet.
Interesting.
So it's like I spoke that into an existence of how it was.
Contra
The
Paris.
last 10 seconds, like that little just a jump.
Oh, that's just the nigga in me.
Okay. That's the best part.
Let me get this young lady right
I
here.
went to the ASCAP Awards. I don't know if it was like 2008 or 2009, something like that. But you wrote every song that was like every single song. So you created this sound, that signature sound. Creatively now, do you think that you have to outdo yourself? Because you always hear like Michael Jackson and all the greats say, you know, they get to this space where they created this sound and then they feel like they have to outdo each other.
Great question.
So creatively, do you feel like you have to, you're gonna keep doing that? Or
I
create
think
another sound, or
I think
build
what
on it?
I think what happens usually in being somewhat wise enough to understand and know is lightning in the bottle is just that. You know, no matter how great or genius you think you are, like nobody's better than timing. Timing is timing, you know.
And it's undefeated.
So for me, my timing was a certain thing, a thing that I created that's still going on today. It was a thing, and it still is. My idea isn't to even compete with it at all. Like I'm not trying to go home and make another I Love Your Girl. Like I don't want to. I don't feel like doing it. It's not a part of my thing. There are things that are next that I have to be, and I am very, what can I say, with no ego at all. I'm very proud of exactly where I'm going and where I started to make turns. And some of those turns took place when nobody was paying attention, like on No Church in a While. And so I was already off of a thing that I started before. And so even though it's still going on under me, like at home, there's a whole other place that I'm in. And it doesn't mean that it's going to work or it's not going to work. It means that if it's easier to say, oh, cool, when Shawty's a 10 came out of Umbrella, to say, oh, wow, this shit is big. But my confidence comes from 2003. You had no idea who the fuck I was. And my shit sounded like shit. So I can't trust you. So I have to trust my own instincts and say, this is what the future's going to sound like. And lately I've been able to slow it down enough to let myself catch up and let, people kind of absorb what it is that I'm trying to do. So, yeah, I
Let me get that-
appreciate
the young
it.
lady standing right here behind.
Okay, so boom. So both of this is a follow-up to both these questions because the energy is real and they're all tied in. So I want to know, you're the king of transitions. Like you can see that on Facebook, you can see that on the regular. Can you talk to us about your process of these transitions? They're like 3 songs in one. So how do you nail it? Like talk to us through it.
Oh, wow.
Great question.
The idea is just stringing along, of course, emotion from one track to another. It's pretty easy, I think, for me, and as being a musician, and not just somebody who's just writing or writing one song at a time, to kind of put it together like a symphony would put together something, because it's just how my mind works. There's no song that ends that can't keep going, like never. Like we can go on for a whole hour You know, if that was the case, it wouldn't stop me from going into the next thing. Throwing somebody under the bus here. There's a Kelly Rowland record that's like 20 minutes long. It's like this thing that just keeps going. There's another thing that me and Pusha T did together that's like 14, 15 minutes long. Wow. That keeps going in and out of each other. And so my basis now so that it doesn't go to waste is making sure that it has film that actually supports it, so that you're actually not able to log out, or we're not caught up in the single, business of, okay, next song, because I think when I got to it and it was my turn to do something, transitions was a part of my thing, and then the single status of records being put out as singles started to hit. So it was like a billion people versus little old me doing transitions, So when I listen to Sicko Mode, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
All right, one more thing. You should be scoring movies. I don't know if you know this yet, but oh, see, you got smooth man right
Damn. All right. Before we wrap up, I got one question. And the reason I got this brother right here, Green, we big Georgia Bulldogs fan.
Oh!
Former Georgia Bulldog player, former NFL player, George Foster. We gonna close it out with his question.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, go Dogs!
On the spot.
Get rid of Matt.
Okay, go ahead, George.
This real cliche music. Okay, what's it like to work with Ross? I feel
my
like
nigga.
He's the best A&R in rap music, period. Like, he don't miss. And there's got to be something that why he don't miss. What's that like?
He's just good at being himself.
We're talking about Rick Ross here, y'all.
Ross doesn't wane outside the lines of a place. He understands what he means to somebody like you and I. Like there's a certain part. And that part, if you take it out, and it's almost like the luxury of having Ross, which is like a lot of artists. Mm-hmm. You have a luxury of having a thing, and the expiration thing is what's going to fuck everybody up in the end, because you're trying to expire them. You're not even like trying to listen to what they're saying. You're trying your best to put a stamp on it to say, all right, cool, next, because that's the culture we're in. We're in the next.
That's exactly
next.
What we are.
But ultimately, that whole thing, BMF started that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like that was him. And sometimes you miss shit like that because the best shit that seems like it's best comes after the shit that was presented the first time. So when that record came out, BMF, of course, he had great records before that, but that was him turning a corner on something in his domain, and most people missed that it was that big, for everybody. It's like 30 artists came out off of that.
Yeah.
One sound.
Storytime with legendary Jerry.
Storytime with legendary Jerry in this bitch.
We about to check out of here.
And Mrs. Number 4.
Hey man. Serious note, man.
Where's my number this year too?
This was, hold on, y'all. Hold on. This was an incredible interview. I
Yes.
appreciate you coming, bro. As always, my nigga. Thank you, sir.
Yes, mad love. Thank you so much. Really
Before we sign off, Miss
Thank
Jamie
you,
Page,
dear.
give your social media handles, please.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Miss Jamie Page, JAIMEEPAIGE.
And the dream is
At the King Dream.
That's everything. The King Dream.
Yes.
Once again, thank you. And of course, I'm Big Jerry Clark. Everything is at Big Jerry Clark. But we appreciate you, brother. Great. And
if y'all want to smell like how my dainty home smells when we're out, it's the NashestateHome.com.
Yes.
You get
They
a
got
couple
candles
get
and
some
everything.
candles.
Oh,
and everything.
nice,
Yes.
nice.
My wife would appreciate it.
And we
Yes.
could get some chicken sandwiches, right, at
Yeah,
Popeyes?
definitely
Yes.
come by and get some
Support
chicken
his
sandwiches.
and we appreciate you. And before we sign off, we dedicate every episode of Storytime with Legendary Jerry to my late father, Thomas Clark, to Shakir Stewart, somebody
My
that the
man,
dream
yes,
knows.
yes.
My uncle Stanley Bethel. And for this episode, we're adding 2 people to our dedication: his grandfather and his mother.
Thank you.
Yes, we dedicate the show Storytime with Legendary Jerry. I want to thank LiveHipHop.com. I want to thank Zoe, Kim.
Oh dang!
Damn, what did you say? Damn,
They got
I
straight
can't
to
even
sex.
finish talking.
Right.
Golly. Killer Mike, Shay, Zoe, Kim,
Yeah,
Swag
Butter
Shop,
Atlanta.
Butter ATL. I mean, it's so many people that have been new faces. Everybody that's been
Awesome.
contributing factor. My producer Joy Alexander, she makes it happen. So we signing off. The Dream, Jamie Page, Jerry Clark. Thank you all. Coming live from Swag Shop Edgewood, ATL.
ATL.
Thank you.
Ho. ATL.
Auburn Avenue,
ho.
shout out.
Not the music, play the music.